What's up? Episode 18. We're getting started right now. I'm getting DJ in as a host, and we're going to be good to go. It's Dynamite Sunday. What?
Sunday.
There he
The day
is.
where Tony Khan blows his load and the wrestling business gets exposed and Stokely Hathaway still gets no hose. It's your boy DJ of DJ and the Heel.
Oh,
That's the best entrance I could ever do. No one can
look
ever
at
top that
look
shit.
at that. You think you're Jim Cornette from 1986 with Stan Lane simply because you were on the Zeus's show yesterday.
Hell no, I'm a way better promo than Cornette. I'm sorry. The student has definitely surpassed the fucking master.
Oh man, how's your week? How's everything going?
For once, for the first time in a long time, I'm excited for an AEW pay-per-view. On paper, it doesn't look good, ergo why I think the wrestling's going to be balls to the wall. Let's break some necks. So, oh, our special guest is here. Hold on, let me invite him up. If you can, give him a co-host thing, too.
Well, it's not that he's invite co-host. It's not that AEW pay-per-views are ever bad, from the in-ring standpoint. It's just that's all.
Yes, hold on. Yes, they are. There are some that are just completely terrible. Yes, there are. That's what throws me away with some AEW pay-per-views sometimes because they go overboard with the matches, or say there's a match in earlier that's really good that takes away from a match later that's supposed to be really good but can't because the fucking first three matches had blood, tables, and backflips.
Yeah, that's a completely different. That's a completely different conversation. Is we're gonna have 16 matches, and the first four are gonna have blood, but our main event is a Texas Death Match. So let's take away from that because we're doing it all early. So yeah, but as far as the actual matches, I don't think there's really been like a horrible, AEW match on pay-per-view that I could think of, at least off my head.
Well, real quick, let me introduce this guy because we're gonna make some fat fuck, some neckbeard from Houston lose his fucking mind because apparently everyone hates me. Former co-host of Rock and Rope, still one of my best friends on this fucking planet. It's what is up, John? You still get the trumpets, bitch. Oh, and he dips on the trumpets.
Yeah, I was gonna say nothing. I don't even have.
I set it up perfectly for him. God damn it, John. Welcome back.
Sorry, my phone messed up. I had to reboot it, restart X real quick.
No, you're good. You missed the trumpets.
I caught the trumpets right at the end, so it was perfect timing that my approved request came through right on spot.
Have you kept up with any AEW? Do you know that they have a pay-per-view tonight?
I know that they have a pay-per-view tonight. I don't know how or why that's the case, but I did see. I was actually productive in the last 24 hours of looking at stuff. But yeah, I saw they have a pay-per-view, and that what I seem to gather online was a lot of people feel like they've kind of fallen out after last month's was really highly praised. I know a lot of people were really big on the last pay-per-view, and it seems how they've theoretically cooled off a little bit since then, or people are less excited than usual, maybe, at least if X is to be believed.
I think it's a matter of, there's just a short time between the two. You went from, World's End to Revolution. It was 3 months of, to be able to build. And it's been less than 4 weeks between Revolution and tonight. So I think that's been, they only had 4 or 5 matches announced when the Go Home show, was last Wednesday, and now we're up to 12 matches, including the 0 hours. So, they announced 8 matches, within 5 days. So,
yeah.
But I guess
that makes sense. They do better with, or at least I feel like they were always better, and I wish WWF did the same thing, with a little bit of time to breathe. Even if WWF or them tried to go 6, not even full 2 months, every 6 weeks, cycle them through or something. But the 4 weeks, or where sometimes like this, you get 3 weeks, or Didn't they do this with All In and All Out like for a year or two?
It
where
was
they
like
held
a
them like
yes.
yeah, and it's just you almost know not to give a shit about anything until the next pay per view comes because with 3 weeks, what's really going to happen? So you almost mentally tell yourself like, okay, cool, I can just tune back in 3 weeks and not really care as much about what's going on, and it's not long enough to effectively do anything other than continue a story, really.
What got a lot of people into AEW when they began was the fact they were only running 4 pay-per-views a year, so they had time to build shit in between those pay-per-views, and they were able to go off with such a good hit because people were waiting so long to get these resolutions to these stories. And AEW, now that they have kind of have the, shorter term storytelling, that's why Revolution the past few years I think has done better because it's always a longer build. You got to wait more until you get that giant crescendo at the end to where now it's going to be we're getting a pay-per-view every month and everything's going to seem rushed, out of place, and they're going back into the old AEW habits. If it was me, I think I don't want to even say 6 weeks. I say do 6 pay-per-views a year. Give a good nice 2-month gap in between.
Yeah.
Enough to tell some decent stories, get some people over, and introduce new people into a cycle if you got to cycle people in or out. And it also gives you times, especially with how AEW wrestlers constantly get injured because of the work rate they go through over there.
Right.
It would make it easier at least for you to come up with a change on a fly within a 2-month span instead of doing every 3 weeks.
And on the other side of the coin, I think that in 2025 was WWE's creative downfall is they had something every 3 weeks. And there was just no time, whether it was a PLE or, they had the Saturday Night's Main Event in between. There was just never, with the exception of like the Road to WrestleMania, where it was like between, Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania, there was a good gap. Otherwise, the rest of the year, I think they had something every 3 weeks. So there was just no time to build. And if you're going to do that and if you're going to have that much content, maybe, do the hard brand split and, do separate brand PLEs. So at least, you can build stories on each side with time. But,
Those Saturday night main events crunched in really did make a noticeable difference this year because they tried to actually use them with like bigger, we're going to put a Cena match on there. They made sure there were ones you felt like you kind of had to keep in with, and yeah, every 2 to 3 weeks is just like it's exhausting. You really get fatigue.
Yeah. So I guess you want to just start. Should we start with Dynasty predictions since we're talking about it?
Yeah. Do you got the card pulled up?
I definitely do.
All right.
Let's.
John, you can just make free throwing predictions. You don't know
this
nothing.
This is going to be exciting to do in the blind.
I
might do better than usual.
It's a blind prediction. He's got nothing. He's going in. All right, so they threw in 2 women's matches on the pre-show. There's actually only 1 women's match on the main show. So Alex Windsor against Marina Shafir. I'm sorry, you've been building Windsor up with Hayter, and then you're putting her in a singles match just to get her on against Marina. I don't see how Marina's not winning this one, especially after losing twice, in the last month to both Tony and Mina Shirakawa.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna go Marina. If she loses again, she's dead.
Yeah.
You're fucking stabbing the corpse, kicking it down the hill, and hoping to watch the body float down the river.
Do you think? Let me ask you. Do you think they want to? Do you think not Marina? Do you think Hayter and Alex Windsor are asking for their release because they were asked to put over the world champion, or is that only a Mercedes?
No,
or is that only?
I don't.
Is that only a Mercedes thing?
Windsor, no. I definitely think not. I think AEW is going to be the biggest and best opportunity she'll ever get in her career. I don't. You know what I mean? I don't see her going to WWE and doing anything because she doesn't stand out in AEW. She's definitely not going to stand out in WWE.
I was just taking a shot at Mercedes on that because Mercedes left when they asked, her and Naomi to,
Oh, I thought you were asking a serious question.
No, I was
deep dive into that shit.
That's what I needed to stop you before you did.
I was going to take that shit apart.
I grabbed you, but I grabbed you up on the collar before you dove right in the deep side of the pool. No. I was making a joke because Mercedes and Naomi left WWE when they were asked to do singles programs as a tag team, and that's literally what they're doing here. You know, having Jamie Hayter just, you know, split from the tag team just to be able to give Thekla an easy, you know, win. So, I guess we're on this one. We're all saying Marina, and then we're
You
gonna.
forgot John. You forgot the blind
Oh.
pick, asshole.
Oh yeah, I'm Marina. If Marina loses, unless she's on her way out,
I don't think she is.
but I haven't heard anything on that. So yeah, I would think she has to get a win.
Oh wait, let's get Brandon Ace in here. He's the our local sicko for the day until Nick shows up. DJ, say Nick 3 times so he shows up.
Nick, this would be the one episode Nick misses when John comes out.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, Brandon Ace.
Intentionally avoiding me.
Brandon Ace. We're doing. We just started on Dynasty predictions, and we just started with Alex Windsor versus Marina Shafir.
Okay. Honestly, I'll go with Alex Windsor because it would make sense for Windsor to win because, well, Jamie's going to lose. You can't have both Brawling Birds lose singles matches. One of them's got to win and one's got to lose. Because if you have both of them losing, I'm like, how can you take them seriously as a team if they both lost their one-on-one matches?
Okay, but on the flip side, you would have Marina losing her 3rd match in 4 weeks.
It's just how it is at this point. I'm like,
So you think
Marina-
they're gonna put make Alex Windsor more of a priority than Marina, who's been like?
let's be honest. Who's the better wrestler, Windsor or Marina?
Right. Okay.
Hold on. Well, how are you asking that question? And see, as soon as I told Nick John's here, he fucking showed up quick.
I'm just saying, I watch Alex Windsor outside of AEW when she was wrestling in Rev Pro, and she's a damn good wrestler.
Well, hold on. You didn't even give me a chance to pose my question. Are we asking purely in quote unquote work rate, or are we asking who do you think would go further as a wrestler?
I'll go with a mixture of both.
Marina Shafir, her work style is different. It's not the same as every other woman in AEW, so she immediately stands out. She's not the best worker in the world, but doing the shoot style stuff since she's been with the Death Riders actually looks good. The fact that she's been losing has been mind-boggling to me in the first place. She shouldn't be losing. She should be winning these matches. If Toni Storm's out for months, she shouldn't be beating Marina on the way out. It should be the other way around. And Mina definitely shouldn't be getting no fucking wins over Marina either, because Marina in real life would squash her like a bug. So if you're asking me who would go further in the wrestling business and further for AEW and further for that women's division, Marina Shafir. Alex Windsor is just another girl on the roster. Ergo, why they put her in a makeshift tag team with Jamie Hayter in the first place?
I don't think she's just another woman. She's good. She's just never been given.
Oh, you're right. She's not another woman. She's another woman who happens to be married to the top guy on the roster.
Let's not do that. Like,
no, I'm telling you the truth.
I mean, let's be honest. Mercedes was dating, you know, Mortis. He got main events and TV time.
He got 2 main events and some type of random push. Right, exactly.
And now it seems like they broke up because I haven't seen anything with them on social media and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, Mortis completely disappeared off TV. You know,
maybe he's hurt.
He's been on ROH.
Fair enough. Okay.
Anyway.
But I just think you can't have both Brawling Birds lose their respective one-on-one matches. One of them has to win. Like,
no, but they don't. They're a tag team.
You can't.
I was gonna say, let Nick talk. Let Nick talk. First of all, John's here. Say hello to John. He missed you.
John.
Hello, my old friend. How are you?
Miss you, buddy.
How you been?
Second of all, yes, both Brawling Birds should lose tonight. There is no reason why Marina should not be winning this match. I take it one step further. Marina should be the one taking the TBS title off of Willow.
Yes.
Flat out. What should happen tonight, if Tony's smart, Marina handles Windsor clean, and Jamie Hayter loses, and gets the shit kicked out of her, Britt Baker should come back and then kick the shit out of her too. So that way you can have DMD versus Jamie Hayter at Double or Nothing, and you play off their real life story beef that they had before.
But Nick, in that scenario, you're basically taking the last 2-3 months of building them up as a tag team and, basically just splitting them up now. So you're putting Jamie Hayter into another singles program. I agree with you that they both could lose because they're a tag team, so they're losing singles matches. But what you're presenting, I understand like the history that you're going with, but you're also taking a tag team and essentially breaking them up for singles programs.
Those are I don't care what any AEW fan wants to say. From the moment the Brawling Birds were a thing, I never looked at them as a team. They're not a team.
No, but hold on. That's why I disagree with you, because the team themselves is somewhat getting over not to like Road Warrior levels of over, but they were getting over and they are working. I'd keep them together for a bit if you're gonna try to establish that division seriously. But we all know Tony's not.
I mean,
I get where you're coming. That's why I get where you're coming off with your idea. But
now that Tony Storm is gone. Yeah, but listen, now that Tony Storm is gone for a while, you need more single stars in that single division. Like, who does Willow have? Who does Willow have to tangle with?
Marina, you just said it.
No, but besides that, I mean, we need more singles.
Bring up goddamn Athena or Billy Starks, for the love of Christ.
You just brought Sheeta back.
Good. We need more.
But I'm saying you also have a tag team division. You still need tag teams. If anything, I think the Birds are going to be together, and I think they're actually going to win the tag titles at All In.
Listen, the tag titles are at this point.
Don't get me started.
Tony's not booking the tag team titles with any urgency because they're on the pre-show.
Yeah, and that's to say, don't get me started. The fact that we got
hold on, Brandon, 1 second, just because I want to try to keep this on topic and not go too far. And John wants to chime in real quick. Yeah. Go ahead, John.
Oh, I accidentally dropped shit in my kitchen. Don't mind me.
Listen.
Any interruption was unintentional. That's my fault. But I will say, on the tag team thing, I agree on the split up with Nick. I hate to do it on my first time back, but he makes sense. And because they were kind of just singles thrown into a tag team, I don't feel like as disjointed about like splitting them up quickly because they weren't like a real thing to begin with. So I do agree on that part.
Yeah, but most tag teams come together as two singles guys. FTR.
That's true. Now they don't really do. There's very few tag teams that actually come about naturally anymore, unfortunately.
They signed one of them and fucking threw them in Ring of Honor and Collision, pretty much. I haven't seen them on Dynamite or.
They were actually on Dynamite this past week. You're talking about the Rascals, right?
No, Inspiration.
I thought we. Okay, never mind. I thought we were just talking tag teams in general.
No, I was just talking about women's tag. See, you couldn't even remember the Inspiration's fucking name.
No, I couldn't. You're right.
The Iconics?
Yes. Yeah, formerly the Iconics. I forgot.
They were just in TNA, right?
What'd you say, John?
They were just in TNA, right?
Yeah. That's a whole other conversation and topic you're gonna love to listen to and catch up on because there's TNA AEW drama.
Good lord.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
After the preview. What's the next match?
All right, next match we got for the AEW National Championship: Jungle Boy against Mark Davis. Jungle Boy just.
Wait, where the fuck did this come from? I
told you he just threw shit against the wall on Wednesday.
Hold on, Brandon, you gotta mute your mic. You got killer background noise. Thank you.
They told you they just threw shit on the wall, on Wednesday. So obviously Jungle Boy's keeping this. I don't see him dropping the title on Mark Davis after 3 weeks of winning the title.
Yeah, Mark Davis is the AEW job. He's an AEW jobber. The only wins he gets are multi-man matches.
I honestly think also he's a victim of circumstance because I think they were gonna push him and Jake something.
They're good in the tag team division. They're a great looking tag team.
Yeah, but then the injury happened.
So Jake something got hurt and said, "I'm fucked."
Right. So that's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, so yeah, for now he's the pin guy.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Jungle Boy's got to win.
Yeah.
It's too early in his reign to take the belt off of him.
Is he still a babyface again? Jungle Boy?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a babyface again. He just did an indie, an indie appearance with the belt, reuniting with Marco Stunt. And
Is he still with the dinosaur?
No, the dinosaur's out again.
Okay.
But yeah, I got Jungle Boy. John, on you. Who you got? Blind pick.
Jungle Jack.
Jungle Jack. I hate how they call him Jungle Jack Perry now. I don't like it. Just call him Jungle Boy or call him Jack Perry. Don't call him fucking Jungle Jack.
JR's called him Jungle Jack from day one that he's been in AEW.
JR did it because he was stuttering, stumbling, and old.
Yeah. Poor guy was having a stroke. That's okay.
Okay, he's old. He can get a pass calling him Jungle Jack. Okay, same way.
Yeah.
It's like the Bozo Brazier story.
So does anyone disagree that Jungle Jack is not winning this match?
This match is all over Ricochet.
Let's be honest. Jungle is gonna retain the belt. Like, it's just something for him to do. Would I like to see Mark Davis win the belt? I would, because I'm actually impressed with him. He's really good. I said he's really good, and he's actually very underrated.
I think you're talking out your ass now.
Yeah.
Look, he's good, but we already know Jungle. We already know Jack
We don't
Perry.
got to be nice to everybody now. Not everybody in the NBA is a good basketball player. Some
I
people just
said-
get in because
I-
they get in.
I said he's underrated.
Nah, he's rated right where he's supposed to fucking be. Job guy.
This, like I said,
God damn job, guy.
I said I have Jack Perry retaining the belt.
and you're right.
No, but then you also tried to make a pitch where, I can see Mark Davis as champion. Nah, get the fuck out of here. He's a job guy. He's there for him to lay on the fucking mat backwards and get pinned 1, 2, 3. That's it.
Hey, I know most women who do that.
I said this on Simply Predicting. This match, well, I didn't say about this match because it wasn't announced, but I said this about the Ricochet Jericho match. Now that the fact that this match is being advertised, this shits all over Ricochet, because this just tells me Ricochet didn't give a shit about the national title. Like, why aren't we running back Ricochet and Jungle Jack Perry? And if Jericho has a contract to where he can challenge anybody for Dynasty, why the fuck did he challenge Jack Perry?
Why didn't he challenge MJF? It's like
No, but to make it make sense, because
Yeah.
you could have done Jack Perry versus Ricochet versus Chris Jericho for the national title.
honestly, I think you want the real life explanation or the kayfabe explanation.
Speak the truth, man.
He's getting punished. Even though he's on the pay-per-view, I feel Ricochet is a little bit in the doghouse because of that whole controversy with the tweet. So I think he's doing the jobs. I don't think he's going to be in the title picture right now. I think.
Oh man, him losing to Jericho, I'm like, oh brother.
I'm just saying, but
He is losing to Jericho.
Yeah, we'll get back into.
Unfortunately.
We'll get into that in a little while. But the next one is the Women's Tag Team Championship, Divine Dominion against Hyan and Maya World. Another one that's,
Waste of time.
Who the fuck are those?
could have been. They're the ones who, who got the contracts because the other girls wouldn't work for 3 minutes.
Because, what's not Dakota Kai? What's her type?
No, Tegan Knox.
Tegan Knox.
Tegan
Her
Knox.
girlfriend.
Her and her girlfriend walked out. Okay. Those
Yeah, that was
I
unprofessional.
remember them.
Yeah,
I was wondering. I'm like, who the fuck is that?
but this is a collision match. But we're putting it on the pre-show, so I think we're all, there's really not much to say except, we all agreed Divine Dominion's, keeping the belts.
Now, I need to talk about this because this is like, so let me get this straight. You have new tag team champions and you're going to put their titles on the line on the pre-show, and yet you crowned new trios champions and they're getting their first defense on the pay-per-view. What the fuck are we doing? Like, the previous champion...
Hold on. Before you go on your tirade and rant, I need to know what's your issue with this. Because I don't see the issue with this.
Because Divine Dominion has been having the tag team titles for almost at least a month.
Okay.
And yet they can't have a title match on the pay per view, and the Dogs.
Okay, hold on.
And the Dogs just won the trio title.
No, because I gotta interrupt you because I feel like you're giving yourself expectations and getting yourself mad. When's the last time you seen Megan Bain, other than the last pay-per-view, go not be on the pre-show?
A year ago. For
She's
Dynasty.
always on the pre-show.
And it's ridiculous. Like,
No, but I'm saying it's precedent already. It's not like this is a surprise. This is something you should be mad at or shocked at. This is something Tony has done time and time again with Megan Bain. No matter if she's a champion, not a champion, going for a championship, just face the champion. None of that. She's always, other than the Tony Storm match and the match she just used to win the tag titles, because they needed to get the belts off Willow. She has always been a pre-show match. You should not be upset at this.
But it's ridiculous because the previous champions, Bates and Rav, were able to defend their titles on the pay-per-views on the main card before. Why we can't get Divine Dominion,
All right.
in my opinion, can be the top, can be a tag that you can build around. They're big, beautiful, and powerful. They can literally be the type of team you can build this women's tag team division around.
They are. They're
Okay.
doing it. They're just not. I don't see the issue of them not being on the main show.
Ace.
They're not main show ready to where Harley, at least Willow, to her defense, are definitely a lot more main event ready.
Ace, let me ask you, who on the pecking order of AEW, who's considered a bigger star, Megan or Willow?
Honestly, if you actually book it correctly.
As they've been booked. As they've been booked, right as of right now, who's the bigger star?
Willow.
Then
It's Willow.
okay, then that's why Megan's on the pre-show. So, and plus, would you really want to see this match on the main card anyway?
No.
I know.
Okay, so
I want to give
Because
because
you're
I would like to
listen.
see.
This
I
is
would
a
like-
collision main event.
I just don't think this is the hill you should be dying on when we got.
That's what I'm saying. I think you're setting yourself up for not for failure, but to get angry and be mad at. I feel like that's something you specifically want, and it's causing you to be outraged. To where, to me, Megan Bain being on pre-show is normal at this point. They're not taking her seriously, and probably won't for a while now.
But the most frustrating thing is, we got 2 women's pre-show matches, but only 1 women's match on the main card. I'm like, interesting.
Brandon, if you want women's wrestling, there's a lot of other promotions that have women's wrestling on it.
But I'm just saying, like, because I've been seeing AEW fans arguing over this. They're arguing with one another on this, and it frustrates me because people are giving Tony that excuse again. And I'm gonna say this: if Triple H was booking the women's division similar to what TK is doing, this app would have called for his head on a silver platter. They would have been absolutely fired. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. But you know what? This is how TK books. He does not put women's matches on pay-per-view.
Because my biggest fear is he's putting it on autopilot because of Tony Storm being out.
Well, no,
we know Mercedes is coming back.
We'll probably get Willow open challenge on the main card.
I mean, fine, but it's like,
and she'll probably face Danny Luna if Danny Luna's in Canada right now, because TK will be petty as shit.
Definitely. All right, but yeah, Brandon, I don't want you to take over this shit too much.
Yeah.
You still got to get John and Jameer's picks, and maybe Matt now since he's in here.
And we got like 15 other matches to go through plus other topics. So
yeah, so we're gonna try to rant and rave a little less. John, it's on you.
What match are we even on now? I lost.
Women's tag titles.
And Lena Cross versus
Bain.
Who is it?
Megan Bain.
He picks Megan, the tag team of Divine Dominion. There we go. It's on you.
I think we're all in agreement because I'm gonna move this along. That the champion. Yeah.
What's the next match?
Yeah, let's move on. There's no question about this one. So the Dogs, who just won the trios titles, I guess
Why, by the way?
yesterday in quotes, but it was actually Wednesday, against Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and a mystery partner. I'm guessing the mystery partner is KOR, Kevin O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly,
Kevin
sorry.
O'Reilly, it's Kyle O'Reilly.
It's Kyle
I know, I
O'Reilly.
mixed Kevin Owens with O'Reilly.
I'm like, are you feeling okay?
So it's basically the dogs against the conglomeration. We're gonna see, KOR return, but I still think the dogs are retaining.
Kyle.
KOR, Kyle O'Reilly. I said it right.
Core. I like that. I'm just gonna call him Core for now.
It's easier
No,
to it's easier to
you know
tweet,
what?
but you're KOR.
I don't know. It depends. I want to say the conglomeration because usually I don't bet against Orange Cassidy.
They literally
I
just
never
bet
against Orange Cassidy on
they-
pay-per-views.
Yeah, but they literally just put the titles on them last night, if you will.
I'm trying to think.
I
They
still don't know why.
technically just win last night. Yeah, I'll go with the Dirty Dogs. Those low down cretins. Let's call them what they are. The junior Death Riders.
I'll take that.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I'll take it.
Brandon Ace, dogs or conglomeration?
Obviously, I'm going with the dogs because they just won the tag titles. It wouldn't make any sense for them to drop them real soon. And look, I'm happy for them, and like I said, I hope this gives TK a chance to build a division because there are two people that I think you can build this division around: the Dogs and the Rascals, because they are an actual trio, which will make sense to build that division around those two teams. Because I think the best way to make this trios division probably a bit better and actually feel important is have the titles be hot potato. I mean, have them hold the belts for at least like maybe a month or two and then drop it to another team, because having the belts for long range isn't really the best idea.
Hey, John, the dogs or the conglomeration?
John's in the middle of something, so we're gonna skip his pick for now.
Nick.
He'll let me know when he's back.
Dogs. If they lose the titles this fast, they fucking suck.
All right. Anyone else got a different pick besides the dogs? Cool. The Young Bucks against Okada and Takeshita. The gimmick behind the match is that Okada and Takeshita have to be a proper team and beat the Bucks, so then Takeshita can get a shot at Okada's international title at Double or Nothing.
So basically, the real reason for this match is the Bucks want to get a win back after doing the jobs to the fucking FTR for no reason, so FTR can set up the bigger match, and they need a big win.
I think they're losing.
No, hell no. If they lose, not only does it make no sense for them, and they'll be kind of fluttering in the water. I wouldn't say dead in the water, but they'll be fluttering, shaking, doing a little seizing. But Takeshita and Okada, it'd make no fucking sense. Then why'd he lose the Continental belt for Moxley?
But
why is Moxley defending this belt for Ospreay to get it if Ospreay should be the guy taking the belt off of MJF and All In? You know what I mean? Some of these booking decisions don't make no sense in hindsight. So, if you're just trying to do the logic, it's literally like trying to fucking do a springboard to a fucking murder mystery. It's really crazy. So, I honestly don't know.
By the storyline, the Bucks have to lose because we want to finally get to Okada and Takeshita at Double or Nothing for the international title. So they have to be a good team and win to be able to get to that match, which is much bigger than just a random Young Bucks win.
See, that's where I disagree. If you're going to get to the match to them eventually, you have to sow some dissension and show that they can work as a team, as kind of, but then it all blows up in their face. The Young Bucks take advantage of it. They get the win, pop, woohoo, Young Bucks, and the other two are looking at each other like, oh, it's your fault. No, it's your fault.
Somebody's got to walk out on somebody.
Or something like that, you know what I mean? So that's why I think the Bucks are winning. I got the Bucks.
But why can't they do it after the match?
Because then there's not the same impact. Remember, AEW tells stories in the ring, not outside the ring.
I think the Bucks are losing.
All right, so Jameer says Bucks. Jameer says Okada to
They're losing. The Bucks are losing.
All right, I got you. Brandon, who did you say again?
I'm think. Oh, so,
Our co-host Brandon.
I said I still think it's Don Callis family Okada Takeshita winning.
Okay, so I'm dying on the Young Bucks hill alone.
I got
Nick,
you with the Bucks.
Okay, me and Nick got the Bucks. At least I'm not feeling stupid about this.
I got
It-
the
it makes no sense.
family.
No, because it makes sense. Like, yeah, the moral of the story is Okada and Takeshita have to work together, and they will work together, but they're just two different sides of the same coin, and it's gonna blow up in their face. I think Okada's gonna walk out on Takeshita, and then again it's gonna be the blaming game on Takeshita.
All right, at least I'm kind of in the same boat as Nick. Like I said, it makes no sense for the Young Bucks to lose right now. And again, if Takeshita, why would they win this match if Takeshita just lost to Moxley? He should be Continental Champion then, while Okada's International Champion. And then when they're fighting the Young Bucks together, both as champions, them winning would make more sense. But since only one of them has the belt, the other one just lost his match for the belt, it'd make more sense to pin that guy again because, oh, it's your fault. You're the one to blame. And at least by what Nick is pitching, it gives Takeshita a sense of honor. And the Young Bucks can like shake his hand like, hey, at least you stayed and finished the match type shit.
So it's gonna lead to the eventual Takeshita being kicked out of the Don Callis family. So you can also parlay this as to, Don Callis coming out and being like, you didn't get the job done.
But Don also said on Wednesday that it's going to be an inter-family match. So, yeah, don't approve that, DJ. I'm not having it right now. Let's move on to Andrade. Huh?
But I was gonna say real quick before you even go off on that, John's back. John, make your pick. Right now we're on Takeshita and Okada versus the Young Bucks.
hold up, I didn't get my pick.
And Brandon. All right.
Takeshita,
And then we'll
Okada.
go Ace. Go ahead, John.
Takeshita Okada.
I fucking hate you. All right, go Brandon Ace.
What are we doing? Like, what are you guys doing? I'm going with the Young Bucks because we already know how this is gonna end. One of them is gonna, Okada or Takeshita is gonna screw over the other, and then they're gonna get pissed off and argue with one another, and then pretty much the Young Bucks take advantage of it. And unfortunately, Takeshita gets the pin because I'm getting real pissed off seeing Takeshita eating pins a lot, making him feel like a loser. But yeah, Young Bucks win, and pretty much the feud with Okada versus Takeshita continues, and it's like this shit has been going on for a year. Like, either do it or not, because people complain about Triple H doing long-term storylines, and I'm like, this storyline is getting really, it's getting dead to the water at this point, because, like DJ said, Takeshita should have won the entire Continental Classic, but you're having him lose all these big matches, making him feel like he's not a big deal. You're making him feel like a loser. But Young Bucks are winning because they gotta get their groove back. Because eventually we're getting Colt, FTR, and Young Bucks at probably All In a ladder match for those tag titles.
All right. Well, last one, Jet, and then we're going to the next match.
All right, so I'm glad I got accepted. I'm glad to be here on the DJ and the Hero show. I'm glad to be here
With John
live
Cena,
and-
bitch.
What?
I said with John Cena, bitch.
With John Cena, apparently. We're with John Cena,
All right.
apparently. But my prediction is there's going to be 10,000 flips, super kicks, fucking tope suicidas. Okay, you told me before. Okay, I'm picking Young Bucks. There.
Thank you. Now, next is Andrade against.
I felt the veins from Brandon's eyebrows twitching from here, though.
That's
Yo-
why I
yo.
stopped. That's why I stopped. Let me ask you a prediction.
Go.
That's why I stopped.
DJ, you can go back when this is on YouTube tonight, and you could see my video because I do have my camera on and you could see my face. So anyway,
That's why I actually was like, let me do my predictions and let me choose Young
Yeah.
Bucks. Cucamonga Kids.
okay, Andrade against.
Nah, fuck that. I'm taking over real quick. What's your predictions for Trivia Mania, bitch?
Oh, you
We
see,
doing this right
No,
now.
I'm not doing
CJ
that. I'm
taking
not
over.
doing that.
No.
No.
we had,
No.
listen. Why ask him questions he already knows the answers to? Let's move on.
No, Brandon. You said don't start.
I'm not. I just said you know the answer. That's all. Andrade,
Yes, I do know the answer. I'm gonna win.
you ain't winning. Trust me, you're not. Anyway, Andrade versus Darby with a title shot on the line. I'm going. Damn.
This
See,
one is a hard one to pick.
That's what she said.
I'm. Fuck. It's a wrestling match, so I'm going to go Andrade. There's no weapons involved. I'm going to say
They have
Andrade.
been booking Andrade pretty strong, but I don't think Darby's gotten a big win in a while.
He just won that casket match against freaking what's his face.
And he also
Gay
recently just challenged MJF. And isn't Full Gear close by or not? Or
Full Gear is
am I
like
just-
November.
Okay, never mind. No, well, Double or Nothing's in New York.
Darby's from Washington D.C. Washington
No,
State.
but for a big MJF Darby match, they have history. I'm thinking of if I'm looking for a place to have a big match between MJF and Darby, where would be the best place to do it outside of Wembley? Double or Nothing in New York is it?
But that also depends if MJF walks out as champion.
Well, you walking out as champion.
Oh.
We'll get to that when we get to that prediction because I think Darby's winning.
Nick,
I got Darby.
Darby or Andrade?
I'm gonna answer your question with a question. Do we see Swerve anywhere on this pay-per-view?
I mean, if anything, in the main event.
The only reason why I'm thinking, like, you gotta remember, Darby's all been all like, I want the world championship, blah, 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 blah. And then he said on his last promo, he's like, I need this. So, I mean, if Swerve is around, does he cost Darby this match? So it's really a toss. But then, where are you doing Andrade versus fucking MJF? They don't have any Grand Slam Mexico anytime soon, and you're not doing that match at Double or Nothing. So,
Not to take over, but I want to get my answer. I think if Swerve costs Darby, he's going to cost both of them, which is going to lead to a fatal four-way. It's going to be MJF, Andrade, Darby, and Swerve at Double or Nothing. This is my prediction.
Jed, I never agreed with you before. You have a good take on that. I think I'd say Darby too. Just makes more sense.
So the thing is, in my mind, I'm thinking at least for Andrade, you could put him in the TNT title picture, even though the belt is fucking cursed. I'm still living with that lore.
Did you guys already preview that match?
No, we're not there yet.
No, not there yet.
Yeah, I got Darby.
But you can use Andrade as a future opponent for the TNT title. Keep him somewhat hot in the mid card with the million belts they have. All right, I'm gonna go. Jameer, I'm gonna go with the quick ones real quick, even though I know I see the hands because Brandon Ace, I know you're gonna go on the lengthy rant. So we're gonna go Jameer and John because I know their picks are gonna be quick as shit. Jameer, go.
Andrade.
All right, John, go ahead.
Darby.
I love you, John. Okay. Ace, go ahead, and then Jet will let you say what you gotta say.
Well, Jed already said.
All right. He had to put his hand up. So,
Oh.
Brandon, go ahead.
Darby.
Oh, okay, cool. It wasn't lengthy. Sorry.
Okay.
My bad.
Let's move on then while there's a chance. I mean, this one's pretty obvious. Jericho against Ricochet. Jericho's not losing his first pay-per-view back. So, Jericho.
He's not losing to put over fucking Ricochet.
That too.
Like if it was someone up and coming like an Ace Austin or Kevin Knight or Speedball Mike Bailey, Leo, I can see Jericho doing the job. But
Yeah, Jericho's on the.
I know Leo's probably fucking losing his mind right now because I said that, but
Yeah, you said those three letters. You know that sets him off.
no, it's none of those guys. It's Ricochet. No, Jericho ain't doing the fucking job. It's gonna be a Jericho win right here.
All right. Does anyone? I want to get past this one because there's really not even much of a story. Does anyone think that Jericho is not winning? Good.
I'd be shocked if he loses.
Okay, so
People if you lose.
this is going to be the interesting one. The TNT Casino Gauntlet match for the vacant title. The only people we know who are in it are the first two, and it's Ciampa and Roosh. So,
Does anyone here think Roosh is gonna go to business for himself and just kick Ciampa in the nuts and climb the ladder and steal the belt?
There is no ladder.
it's not a ladder, it's a gauntlet match.
Oh, just kick him in the nuts, pin him, and then take the belt.
No.
Okay,
It's
so that's not a possibility.
There's
Why
really,
would he go into
Since it's a
business for
gauntlet match, hold on, real quick. Since it's a gauntlet match, and they're trying to do big surprises for Dynasty, maybe. Is this finally Jay White's return? They've been doing a lot of returns lately, and honestly, that's been kind of helping with television and people tuning in to see certain people to see what directions they're going. So, do we see a Jay White return and him get the TNT title?
no.
Maybe. I think Tommaso Ciampa's winning it.
I'll if I can start off because everybody's gonna take my pick.
Go
No,
ahead.
because he will be returning He'll be returning after the Continental match.
Okay.
And I explained it perfectly on fucking on
Predictions?
Simply Predictions. Like
Heard.
it just makes sense because Mox was the one who got rid of Jay White last year at the for the Owen. Like it just makes sense for him to return there.
So you think the sins of Moxley's past are all coming back to haunt him?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right.
We're gonna get we're getting anarchy in the arena, Double or Nothing. It's gonna be Death Riders and fucking Bang Bang Gang. Anyways, my winner for this match is gonna be Kyle O'Reilly.
Even you think he's doing double duty?
No, I think you're probably getting Ishii returning as that mystery partner. But I think
Then he's taking that. He's getting pinned.
you have again the dogs. If the dogs don't win that match, then it's fucking useless. You're either getting Ishii or you're getting Briscoe returning in that match. But I think Kyle's winning the TNT title.
All right, Jet. Who do you think's winning the TNT title?
You want to actually hear my answer? Are you actually?
I actually called on you, so yeah.
Okay. Everybody's gonna cream their panties when I say this. But
Are you gonna say you're the real Jet?
I'm not winning because I'm not in Vancouver, so no, I'm not gonna win. But I think it's either gonna be Kevin Knight, the other Jet, or I do think Jay White's gonna return and win. So those are my predictions. Two predictions: the Jet, the other Jet, not me, or Jay White returns and wins.
Okay, Ace. Easy answer or hard answer from you?
Honestly, it comes down to two people. I would like to see Whoosh win the title because I've seen him wrestle. He's pretty good, but at the same time, the only reason his pushes have been stopped is because
Leo officially made you his best friend after hearing that.
trust me, I've been watching him wrestle. I've been watching Whoosh wrestle in places like New Japan and CMLL. He's good, but the issue is every time he gets a push, he kind of causes a problem backstage. Maybe this is the time to put the belt on him and show what he can do.
But
Don't
you're
be
not.
shocked if you get a DM by Leo saying, "Yo, what's up, bro? You my homie."
Yeah, he's following you, G. He's keeping it real. He's following you.
But in a perfect world, I would want Roosh to win it. But realistically, I think Kevin Knight's gonna become the new TNT champion because he's been getting a a lot of spotlight, being in big matches against their top stars, and it's like, if this is a time to use that TNT title to put it on a young person, Kevin Knight would be one of them because he has, you can tell he's a rising star, and AEW is high on him. So I'm going with Kevin Knight, the real Jet.
All right, John.
I am not winning. Quit saying the real Jessica Malone.
Well, what did you just say? Wait, time out. What did you just say?
Nothing.
Yeah. You are. I have it recorded. He just said he's not winning. He just said it. Done.
But all right, hold on, real quick. We got John. John's pick left. John, who do you got?
Roosh.
All right.
He's picking Roosh. All right, let's go. Next one.
I got Roosh.
I want to hurry up and get to the big discussion.
Yeah. I didn't pick. I think it's going to be Kevin Knight, and I think he's going to end up turning on Speedball to turn heel to win the title.
And they're doing the Hurt Syndicate.
So.
Oh God, no.
Or join Swerve.
Yeah, he's gonna join the Mogul Embassy or whatever that is.
I think the Hurt Syndicate fits more.
But since Leo's listening in, I'm going Speedball Mike Bailey. Anyway, FTR against Cope and Christian. I'm going Cope and Christian.
Cope and Christian. Yeah.
I'm
with you.
The whole point of our champion because of Eddie Christian.
FTR, probably the only person.
Gone down that hill, buddy.
Jet.
Nick.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, let's hear Nick.
FTR.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, Nick.
Well, how you gonna set up the big match for Double or Nothing? The show is called Double or Nothing. You're better off triple threat match at Double or Nothing, and if Cope and Christian don't win that match, I don't know, you could put their careers on the line or something. You know what I mean? Like.
But they're in Canada. You know how TK has a thing about doing things in people's hometowns or home countries,
Well, I
even.
mean, it's.
And I
having
think that,
them-
honestly, I think for that show, that match, well, maybe not.
That's playing it safe, but because if Cope and Christian win, how is FTR getting back into the title hunt?
I mean,
right.
they get a rematch. They're going to say they get a rematch.
Because you got to remember, it's going to lead up to a three-way tag match at All In between Cope, Christian, Young Bucks, and FTR in a ladder match.
Right. So you do Cope and Christian against the Young Bucks at All In. You could have maybe FTR interfere in that match. I still think, it's Cope and Christian. What's the point otherwise?
I mean, you could have FTR winning this. You could have FTR winning this match by, let's say, Nick Wayne coming in and fucking them. Like, you still have to pay Nick Wayne versus Christian Cage off.
Really? Do we really have to though? They kind of forgot.
You can use that as a dynamite match or collision match, right? But again, the name of the show is Double or Nothing, right? You put it all on the line. That's where you go, Double or Nothing, right? I don't know. Just have fun with it. I feel like they're gonna win. Okay, Cope and Christian probably win, and that's the safe bet. But again, Tony should have fun with this and fucking be creative. Give us week-to-week fucking television and make us invest in that match come Double or Nothing.
All right, John, your pick.
What?
Your pick. It's Cope and Christian versus FTR for the tag titles.
Oh, Cope Christian.
All right, Brandon Ace, did you pick?
Cope, Christian.
All right.
Yeah.
You're all robot, Brandon.
Hub, did you want to get a pick in before we go to the next one?
Yeah,
think Cope and Christian is going to win this one. I feel FTR should just because they lost the first go around, and that's your way to set up the trilogy bout at Double or Nothing. But honestly, I think they're hell bent on getting Cope and Christian on that tag team resume thing for those titles. So Cope and Christian for the win.
Jet, did you want to take a pick before we move on?
I think those fresh young talents, Cope and Christian.
Okay.
All right, let's get to the next match.
Moxley and Will Ospreay for the Continental Championship.
Okay, we're gonna be quick. This one's gonna be easy. It's gonna be a quick one. Osprey.
Moxley.
You guys are all high. You guys are high as shit.
I agree with you, DJ. Don't
Wait,
do them. I agree.
slow down, everyone. Don't talk over. Real quick. Why are you going to put the Continental title on Ospreay when you know you're going to be putting the world title on him in a couple of months?
It's the same reason why they didn't put it on Takeshita for no fucking reason. Nothing about this or the Death Riders makes any logical sense. So I'm going with the most illogical decision possible that they can fucking do. So they're putting the belt on Ospreay for some fucking reason to give him the goddamn accomplishment so he can strut around with the belt for a few weeks and then lose it to someone else and then maybe eventually do this MJF shit. Because again, All In is 4 months away.
Yeah, but you still have to do the Owen and everything. That's why. I'm saying...
Okay, he can still participate in the Owen. We've already set precedent that any champion could go for any belt at any time.
I'm saying Ospreay based on Booking 101 because he was standing tall on Dynamite. That's why I mean Moxley, not Ospreay.
I'm going Ospreay.
All right, main event hub.
I feel like it has to be Ospreay just because this is his first major match back since his injury.
Thank you.
And he's going to have to get the comeuppance on Moxley over this. It's just they really, they fucked up not giving Takeshita that title a month ago. Because now you're in the predicament of you kind of have to give Ospreay the Continental title here, even though he shouldn't have it, doesn't need it. And I assume he's going to be in the Owen. I assume he's going to win the Owen. So now you're going to put the Continental title either on ice while he's doing the Owen, or you're going to hot shot book it and take the title off him almost immediately. So, but I think Ospreay gets the win tonight. I feel like he has to, unless for some reason you're continuing this Moxley Ospreay shit, which I don't think they will after tonight.
Okay, Jet.
I remember that I said, DJ, I agree with you. If the whole world is against you, I agree with you that Will Ospreay will flip and dip and tope suicida his title tonight.
All right, Nick. I don't know if you answered on this one or not.
Mox has to win. The whole title stipulation was only added because he wanted Mox all to himself. This Continental title for him is an afterthought. He doesn't really give a shit about it. Give Mox the win. Have him win. Have the Death Riders beat the shit out of him after, and then have Jay White come and save his ass.
This might be.
I don't think it benefits Ospreay at all coming back from neck surgery, being the big over baby face, and losing clean to Moxley his first big pay-per-view match.
Well,
it makes no sense.
Well,
that's killing your top baby face.
Who says it? Who says it has to be clean?
And this is to for him to get his comeuppance, for them to be settled things. This should be them being done and over with. Ospreay has to win, no matter if it's for the belt or not. It shouldn't have been for the belt. I thought it was stupid putting the belt up, but I get the reason why. The reason makes sense. But because of that reason, you can't beat Ospreay clean. He has to beat Moxley.
But not
He's
every
the quote unquote best wrestler in the world, Nick. He can't be losing clean to Moxley. He has to win that battle.
Yeah, but that was before a neck fusion surgery, right? He's coming back just like the way he's come back after that surgery. Others would be out for months. So you have 4 months to play off the story of is Will the same after that surgery? Can he be what he used to be? Which, then makes him go on, it makes him doubt himself. It makes him question, can he still go at this level because of the surgery? Just the same way they did it with the Tiger Driver 91. That story was, would he hit it? Would he hit it? You can play the same old story. Can Will be the same as he was before the surgery, or did the surgery change him for the worse? And you can play that story all the way up to the Owen, and then he goes on an absolute fucking tear in the Owen, wins the Owen, and then you give him the championship. He doesn't need the fucking Continental belt.
I'm being honest. I didn't like that whole if Osprey can't do the Storm Driver, Tiger Driver 91 because the guy that he did it on pretty much was main eventing All In last year, which in my opinion, 2 years ago, which didn't make sense in my opinion. But who I think should win? Honestly, I just don't care because it doesn't make sense, especially like why Moxley's now a heel now after cutting that promo, winning the Continental title, feeling like a face. So again, what is the story with Death Riders right now at this point? Because like it felt like they were gonna turn on Moxley. Now it seems like Moxley is a heel again. I'm like, what are we doing? This is just confusing. Because this story with the Death Rider is just, I'm just done with it because the Death Rider is just don't amuse me anymore. It's like, it just feels like they're just all over the place. There's just no direction for them. But if I had to pick a winner, I'll go with Moxley to retain because I do think Will's gonna lose, but he's gonna lose by 3 means. As in like, he's gonna lose by someone cheating, by Moxley not playing by the rules, in my opinion.
Hey, John, you got Moxley or you got Osprey?
Osprey for the win. Go to get the Owen Hart and merge the Owen Hart with the Continental and give the Owen Hart a belt now too.
It already has a belt, but anyway.
Well, another all-year belt.
It's gonna be the purely unified championship. Yeah. It's pure.
I think this
But
is.
they did the trademark Continental Cup, so he can win the Owen Hart Cup. Unify it, call it the Continental Cup.
I think that's actually the women's version of the Continental Classic, the Cup. But
Oh, now you agree with me.
what did I say last time?
You didn't agree with what I said because that's what I said initially. You were
Oh.
like, no, I think it's something else.
I don't remember. But
yeah,
this is
no,
also
But you bet you remember I'm the motherfucker who came up with it.
this is also a match that I could see them going actually with a DQ finish. Next we got Thekla against Jamie Hayter. This is basically
Thekla.
this is
Ekla.
this is basically what they did last year with Tony and Megan Bain. It was just a match to get through Dynasty and give the women's champion a match and a win. There's not much more to say here, so we're all in agreement. I don't think anyone thinks that Jamie Hayter's winning the title.
I think John might say it because he actually is a fan of Jamie Hayter. Am I wrong for saying that, John?
I would pick her for fun. I don't think she'll win. But I do miss her.
All right. Next, we're gonna move on. Hub, that thing you just posted, is that not the pot calling the kettle black? Anyway,
It's hilarious. I had to share it once I saw it.
I'm sorry. Wrestling Jesus telling anyone else that some people are desperate for engagement is just the epitome of I can't. All right, main event is MJF versus Kenny Omega. I am on the fence with this one. Logically,
Maxwell Jacob Friedman's walking out that bitch tweeting Close McFinger bang.
Can I explain my reasoning, please? Thank you. Logically, MJF makes the most sense, but I also feel that, like he did with Danielson, giving Kenny Omega the title is almost like that golden watch as someone's retiring as a thank you. So, my pick is gonna be MJF, but I would not be surprised if Kenny Omega wins the match. And it also will depend if they do decide to run it back. If they're going to run it back at Double or Nothing with a stipulation, you know, but that also might be a swerve, and I don't mean like a shift. I mean that Swerve gets involved so to continue the Kenny stuff. But my
That's
pick,
the main reason why I think MJF's retaining. Swerve's either gonna fuck him or fuck Kenny, or MJF's gonna win by some nefarious means. There's no reason to take the belt off of MJF right now. He's as hot. He's hotter than he's ever been in AEW right now. At least in terms of the AEW environment, he's on top of the world.
Yeah.
He's the top guy. Nobody is above him at this moment. And yeah, so I got him winning.
I'm actually worried for MJF when he does drop that title because I don't see where he goes after not being champion. But that's a different conversation. I'm gonna go down the line. Main event hub: MJF for Kenny Omega.
So you could have convinced me that Omega probably could have won this match if they weren't very heavily pushing that if Darby wins his tonight, Darby's next in line.
Yes.
I think we are going towards MJF Darby Allin for Double or Nothing.
How I love you.
MJF's going to win this match. Swerve likely returns tonight, and you get Swerve Omega 3 Double or Nothing, some fucked up stipulation, something barbaric. God knows what the hell it'll end up being. But MJF Darby Allin seems like the path they are going towards, and them heavily alluding to, heavily saying, if Darby wins, he's next. If Darby wins, he's next. They love Darby. They're going to want Darby versus MJF main event in New York. That's what's going to go down. MJF.
Thank you.
Hey,
So, finally, at least I'm not talking out my ass here.
you just like it when people agree with you. Okay.
You're goddamn right, because I know I'm right.
Okay. Now you sound like freaking Jeff Sullivan in the chat. Corey, do you want to make a pick?
Wait, I think we glossed over something that you said. You said Kenny Omega was getting his golden watch. So did you imply that Kenny Omega is going to get ready to retire?
Yeah, he said he's coming towards the end.
Okay. I just want to make sure I understood that correctly.
Yeah, that's why I meant by golden watch, because he's coming to the end of his in-ring career.
Right, but I kind of find that more. I think MJF's winning. I don't really have a question, but when do you think Kenny's retiring?
I don't think Kenny's retiring like in a couple of months, but I think if he's going to get that last thank you world title run, it's either now or never. So
and
that
you think his moment would be at what you termed a B-level pay-per-view in Dynasty.
what was that? I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Well, you termed it as kind of a B-level pay-per-view, which I would agree with. Do you think he's getting his great send-off, or here's your golden watch at a B-level pay-per-view?
Yeah, I think it would not be above TK to do that. And again, like I've explained, there's no room anywhere else to fit in a Kenny Omega title run. If you're going to do Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay at Double or Nothing. So after this, we're all in pretty much agreements that Ospreay's winning the title by Double or Nothing, by All In.
Well, I think he takes it off MJF at that point.
He's not gonna. And Ospreay, once he wins it, is not gonna have one of those short title runs. He's gonna have one of those classic AEW Tony Khan 9 to 12 month title runs. So
I think it's a huge creative misstep if you take that belt off of MJF.
My whole point in this is the fact there's really nowhere else for them to do Kenny as world champion one last time. So whether he retires in a year, 2 years, it just seems that this couple of months is the only place to do that. Thank you for everything, Kenny title run.
And my second question on this: do you think this will be a bloodbath, or this will actually be a pure wrestling match?
Honestly,
this will be less of a bloodbath than what we saw with Hangman, definitely.
Well, I mean, that was
if there's anyone to do more of an in-ring spectacle type of match with MJF, it'd be Kenny. So, especially with the limitations that are already set on Kenny's body.
Yeah, I think it'll be an actual 30-minute wrestling clinic.
I think this
whatever
would be
you want to call it,
more of an MJF match than a Kenny Omega style match.
I think the only two matches that might have blood is the Moxley Ospreay and maybe the tag title match, the men's tag title match. I don't think any other match
doesn't have blood is the better question.
Those are the only two that I I could see it, but you know, so you're picking MJF. Jet, who do you got?
The reason why I think he's winning is because he's younger, faster, stronger, more handsome, more charismatic. He, the fans are behind, like the people who
Jet, you're going robot.
You went
you know,
robot.
overcome all these blessings.
Jet, you're going robot.
All right, Nick, who do you got? MJF or Omega?
Has to be MJF.
Ace.
All right, what about John?
I'm getting to him. I'm just going along where I see the bubbles.
Oh,
Bra-
you're good.
Brandon Ace. Once, twice. Okay, John. MJF or Omega?
MJF.
All right, and that's your Dynamite 2026 card. So we'll see how that.
Dynasty, not Dynamite, asshole. Learn your AEW lingo.
Sorry,
Mark.
it was the D's get me confused in the older years.
Of course, the D would confuse you.
Yeah.
That's what I thought I just heard. Wanted to make sure.
Oh, taking shots. Anyway, the other major topic that I think, did you want to do the TNT stuff, the TNA stuff, or did you want to talk about the celebrities?
We'll talk about the big conversation me and you started yesterday, because John's a part of it too. We kind of tweeted back and forth about it, and I kind of want to get more of his thoughts on it.
Copy, PP. My robot, any kind of way. I gotta get him up.
All right, get your pick real quick.
Okay, the reason why he's winning is because he's younger, faster, stronger, more handsome, and the old guys need to move out the way. So that's why I think I'm going to beat Brandon in Trivia Mania. Now, who does this going to win? MJF and Kenny Omega? MJF.
Okay.
DJ, real quick, who said that he's not winning? For the record. For the record, who said before that he is not winning?
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, it's recorded, son. Sorry.
I was talking about Kevin.
I want you to get a short of it and put it on YouTube too.
I'm going.
I was talking about Kevin
Trust me.
Knight.
No, you weren't. Anyway,
Yes, I was.
the other major topic of conversation in wrestling.
Hold up, I didn't get my pick.
We called on you. You didn't respond.
I was preoccupied with something. I ain't hear.
All right, quickly, your pick.
Okay, I'm going with Kenny Omega because, like everyone, the other Brandon said, this is probably his last run as world champion. Even Kenny said it himself. And also, you gotta think in Tony's mind. What do you think is gonna be that? Because you know he's looking to get that. Think in Tony's mind. You know he's looking to get that 6-star match. And what do you think is a 6-star match? Ospreay, Omega, Wembley, AEW World Title. Because from an in-ring perspective, that's what KK wants to book.
No, it's not from the in-ring perspective, because the Kenny Omega you're expecting to have that match with Ospreay ain't going to be the Kenny Omega that shows up.
Well, it probably.
So, but I'm saying that's the sad reality we have to face. As much as we want Kenny Omega and Ospreay to be a thing, at this point in their career, Kenny Omega should not be the main event of your biggest show of the year. I'm sorry, not at the stage of his body. If you really look at Kenny Omega, you can tell he's broken down and do a lot of the same shit he's doing.
Like I said, which is why I said this is probably his last run, because we know Will Ospreay is gonna win, and also when Will Ospreay does win it, I do expect him to hold the title for at least until 2027, because the person I'm picking to take the belt off him is Kyle Fletcher, because he's the guy I think can be the person to take the belt off of Ospreay, considering the hatred towards one another. So I think Kenny wins. That way we get that match between Ospreay versus Kenny versus Ospreay at Wembley, and Ospreay gets his Wembley moment.
Okay.
And pretty much becomes the guy for AEW. Pretty much their version of Cody Rhodes.
All right, he said quick. You've been on and on and on.
Okay, DJ, do you want to introduce the next topic?
All right. So, actually, no. I'm gonna let you do it.
All right.
I'm gonna just react to it.
All right. So obviously, in the last couple of weeks, we've had well, maybe not the last couple of weeks, but the last couple of years, the big topic in wrestling is about celebrities, especially when it comes to WWE and WrestleMania. So, especially now with Jelly Roll involved in the Cody Angle McAfee in the last couple of weeks. So the conversation is, where do we feel about the celebrity issue? Who do you consider to be an actual celebrity? And especially when it comes to WWE and WrestleMania.
And that was actually an interesting part of the conversation me and Brandon got into yesterday about the who's the celebrity thing, because there are like there is a fine line where in wrestling where there are some people in wrestling who are still actual celebrities, and like John Cena for his retirement tour, you can say that was a celebrity coming back to wrestle. Brock Lesnar, I put him kind of in the celebrity category. Batista, when he came back for his retirement match, that wasn't the animal Batista coming back to wrestle. That was Dave Batista coming back to do one last wrestling match. That there are some people. So I like to me, my definition of a celebrity is someone who transcends the sport itself. Is known to the masses as themselves. Like a Goldberger or Steve Austin as well. They're in that fine line as well. So but in terms of like these mainstream celebrities involvement in wrestling, it's always been a staple of WrestleMania, and I think we all can agree with that, and I don't think that's an issue. I just think the past 2 years specifically, it's been over bastardized and over prostituted, and it's been used as the selling point for WrestleMania instead of the story, the build, the people, the issue the two people are having at WrestleMania that's building to that crescendo. Again, some of the biggest WrestleMania builds in history. And I've been bringing this up to Brandon, and I brought this up to John on Twitter this week. Austin and Michaels. You weren't seeing Mike. The feud wasn't a build solely around Mike Tyson. It was DX. It was them fucking with Austin. Austin coming back. There was a bigger story behind that Tyson was just a part of. And it was the same thing with the hair versus hair, the battle of the billionaires. When Trump came for Mania, it's not like, Trump was taking over the show and everything was built around Donald Trump and everything was Donald Trump here, there, and everywhere. I feel like this year it's been overtaken by the celebrities. I show Speed in segments, Jelly Roll taking over SmackDown for a whole episode. You got Pat McAfee now interjected in the main story. Some people say Stephanie isn't a celebrity. Her last name is McMahon, and she takes trips to the White House. I call that a celebrity. I think she has celebrity status.
I completely disagree on that.
We 100%. Can agree to disagree on that point. We got Little Yachty the past 2 weeks helping, just dancing around with Trick, because apparently Trick be in the studio with Little Yachty all the time. Again, when this was AEW, when we were involving Action Bronson and Rick Ross out of fucking nowhere, and we damned that and said that shit was bad. We got to be consistent on the other side, and we can't get away with it because it's WWE and they're just known for that. I think it's been at least definitely more this year than last year. It definitely became more sensual as a problem last year with the Travis Scott and The Rock intervention thing. But I think this year, instead of fixing the problem, they're tripling down on that shit. They're like, all right, we just didn't have enough stars to bring this shit in because the one big star we tried to rope this shit around, he wasn't showing up. So we're going to make sure we have all the stars we can get and they'll all show up. And I think they focused more on that and gave very little to no fucks about the storytelling of most of their main event builds. So I'm not on the side of, I'm not sitting here saying, no, let's not have celebrities. We don't need celebrity involvements, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying don't overuse it, don't overdo it, don't over bastardize it. And it seems like WWE has come fully corporate. And that's the reason why they're getting shoved down our throats the way they are. And I kind of want to get John's thoughts real quick because I know he's going to instantly rebut this shit. Go ahead, John.
Hey, so, agree and disagree. Stephanie McMahon, absolutely not a celebrity in any way, shape, or form. I do agree
to disagree on that one.
The Rock, absolutely a celebrity poll now. But I think that it is a good idea. It's not corporate if they don't do cheesy people. So I think we need more celebrities for Mania season, actually. So here's my hot take. More celebrities, not less. And I think that was the whole appeal at the beginning of the Manias I think the issue is the crossover to where they've become the wrestlers and doing like legit moves. I like in the beginning, like Mania 11 with Lawrence Taylor. Structure the celebrity, if there is celebrity involvement, structure it as a fight, an actual like competition type of match, not having them do Hurricane Ranas and all sorts of crazy shit. We don't need to show that anyone can do these things. Continue to keep.
You need to remember.
Hold on, Brendan. Let him speak.
Let them continue to be involved in a light way, but have more special ring announcer, special referee, special timekeep, the shit that they used to do. Or like in this case with Yachty coming down, because it's one of his actual friends. So that's where kind of the mass appeal and what made this such a spectacle was just celebrities entangled in it, have one or two dipped into the storyline, like you did in the beginning. I don't love using them to actually wrestle. Pat McAfee, we can talk about why he's way too cheesy as what was the guy that had all of the people he's trashing on his show. So we can agree that they've not done it effectively, but I think Mania season needs more celebrities and more involvement than it used to. Or that it
hold on.
did at the beginning.
Let me just ask you something to rebut real quick, just because you brought it, just purely on the McAfee point. Do you think that celebrities should be the selling point in the storylines? You know what I mean? Like, should they be what the story is sold on in terms of creative and getting the fans' interest into watching the crescendo of the story?
No. So they should be involved. In this case, you don't need the celebrity to drive this at all. Like, you don't need the McAfee, especially the McAfee thing comes off so fake and cheesy because we know he's a performer, we know he's performative, and he's banged the company drum for so long that now all of a sudden he's back on the Adam Cole's a vanilla midget. Like, it just comes off so fake and cheesy that, like, that's why it's more of a miss for me this time around.
All right, no. I just wanted to understand. At least we're definitely in agreement on that part. The more celebrity things is definitely a hot take, and that's where I'm like, maybe not.
But less of them wrestling, less of them being that heavily involved. I want them there for the glitz and the glam.
If they're like used as like, all right, hosting this year is Cardi B and her 6 kids. Okay, I'm with that. Or you feel me? At someone. Have Snoop Dogg come out and announce the fucking attendance again, like he did a few years ago before he had to do an impromptu match because Shane almost killed himself.
Right. Or like back when Michaels and Diesel had the match, and you had them, whoever the one chick was at, was it Pamela Anderson or McCarthy? And
I think it was Pam Anderson.
They were going to each walk out with someone.
It was
Diesel
both.
walked out with both. The one was there from Royal Rumble. Like, stupid stuff like that, I think works better than like, let's see Bad Bunny do, fucking somersaults and flips and eliminate the illusion that like, this is truly unique to these guys. It's cool celebs can do that stuff, but I'd rather see them in what feels like a more raw competition, like an LT match.
I think that it depends the person and the place. So, like, we all know that the first one had Mr. T involved, and he was a celebrity, and he was in the actual main event. But we've seen, like you brought the Bad Bunny, or we've had Snooki in a fucking match in the past. And, like, this year, we're having I Show Speed. I don't have a problem with where Speed is in this. He's in a 6-man, so I don't have a problem. The Yachty...
He fits, and he's actually a big enough celebrity to have the cash to justify it. You know what I mean?
Also, if you didn't realize he actually had a match, if people didn't watch it. So he might do something that we might be impressed with at WrestleMania. And like Brandon said, he's in a 6-man tag match, so I don't expect him to do that much.
No, but I'm saying in that context, it's fine. But then again, we have Jelly Roll basically taking over SmackDown for no fucking reason.
I'm gonna build up to the main event part.
Go ahead.
I also don't have an issue with.
I had my time.
You're good. I don't have an issue with the Yachty stuff. He's acting as a manager and a mouthpiece. He's not trying to, to have a match. I mean, I know they're talking about it, but I'm talking as far as the context right now. He's acting as Trick's mouthpiece manager. So I have no problem with that because it's getting more eyes on Trick, who should be getting those eyes because they have a lot of things building up to him. The Jelly Roll stuff where they basically had him for 5 segments on SmackDown a couple weeks ago, we all agreed that was overkill. And at the time, him having a match with Kit Wilson on TV to kind of like help maybe get more eyes on SmackDown, which is struggling, I didn't have a problem with. Once they started putting him in the main event to be the opposite of Pat McAfee, now you're kind of getting the issue where are the celebrities taking the shine off the wrestlers who should be the ones that you're focusing on because it's WWE. It's not celebrity WWE. On the other side, I don't feel that they're actually taking away. I think you said it, DJ, right? You feel that they may be taking the eyes off of Randy and Cody, and putting more that it seems focused more on Pat McAfee.
It's not even just the Randy and Cody thing. It's that they're taking eyes off of the current shit that they're at least attempting to build. Like, people aren't going to care more about Cody and Randy because they have all these celebrities involved. Trick wasn't going to get more over just because Lil Yachty was going to be his fucking mouthpiece. You know what I mean? Trick is honestly more over than anyone expected him to be at this moment. Why did he need Lil Yachty as his mouthpiece? Why does Lil Yachty need to be involved with Trick Williams at this point? So that's where I feel like it's just being overdone because they're doing it in places where it's not needed.
Does it harm if it's natural though? Like with them two, since you if them being friends and just a consensual appeal where you have them around for a little bit, where maybe it does get attention to some of Yachty's fans that maybe don't know who it is.
To give it a comparison, John, it's the same thing as Swerve and Rick Ross to that dynamic, and that didn't work.
It's one of the funniest things of all time.
Funny, but it didn't work and it wasn't effective, and it was not needed. Can you agree with that?
I think if you got an extended push of Ross, which I think if you got maybe 2 months of him coming around, it might have allowed for some crossover, for some impact. I think the one-off of him was more of a hindrance. Some of the people they get are too low tier, I think, to where they would make an impact from the AEW side, but I thought Ross could have helped.
No, that's the most accurate comparison I can make at the moment based on what you're giving me. You know what I mean? So I'm just looking at it from that perspective though. If Lil Yachty was there to help with the New Day, I'd be more okay with it because it kind of fits more to that situation. And the New Day has been around forever. They've done the meet and greet. They know people. They have those type of connects. So and I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. The involvement isn't my problem. It's where they're putting it. Cody and Randy had 15 years of prior history. They just had a match at fucking King of the Ring in May last year. They have not mentioned that at all in this feud. They have done nothing.
Blasphemy involving them in that match. There's no, and I think that's also what drives a lot of the pushback. A match that doesn't need it, that has so many different avenues you could have traveled.
Yes.
There was so many ways you could have spun this story that making it this, I think that was almost like the level of when they kept forcing Roman. People were so instantly repelled of why the fuck this match, that I think that makes the reaction a lot more visceral.
No, that just adds on to my point that I'm saying though of they're in interjecting the celebrity involvement in all these big names out of nowhere, like in the wrong places. Again, if Jelly Roll was in the mid card, just doing mid card shit with Danhausen, I'd be fine with that. Leave him there. Don't let him be with the main event players and the big stars.
I think Jelly Roll and Danhausen is a little excessive to prove your point.
No, I'm saying though in terms of celebrity involvement, or have Danhausen interact with John Cena when Cena's hosting, like that's what I'm saying. Like, and then also me and Brandon Potter, I want to ask you one more question, John, in terms of what is a celebrity. Would you say that John Cena and Batista on their last matches were more celebrities than wrestlers?
Cena, I can get the argument from. Batista,
he was already.
I guess he did have Guardians of the Galaxy, so maybe I don't appreciate it as much. To me, when I think of Dave Batista, I don't think celebrity. But for the argument that you're making, I understand your justification of it. I just hold this personal mental grudge of like, that guy's a doofus.
Now, so let me ask you a quick question on one more person, because I feel like this person's also a tweener and a bit touchy. Would you say Brock is a celebrity at this point?
I wouldn't. No, I would say he would fall more like if you use any other.
Your option is wrestler or celebrity. That's what I'm saying. Would you say Brock's more of a wrestler, or do you think Brock is a known household name because of his athletic accomplishments?
So I reject the premise, and I would say wrestler if I had to choose between the two. But I would peg him more an athlete. Like if you were saying, "Oh, Connor's going to come in," or Nate Diaz is going to do a fight. So I would see it more in the terms of like an athlete, like a true combat athlete versus a celebrity.
I'm saying,
for example,
I'm saying for Brock Lesnar, I put him in the conversation of celebrities the same way you would say Michael Jordan's a celebrity, or LeBron is a celebrity, or Derek Jeter's a celebrity. You get what I'm saying? Like, those guys are celebrities now.
But they're also much more media celebrities, whereas Brock, like, intentionally almost avoids, like, the celebrity lifestyle. Maybe that's why I don't peg it the same.
Aaron Rodgers, to a lesser extent, is a celebrity. And he definitely avoids the spotlight.
I think
he also goes on weekly TV to host programs, so I don't know if I would say he avoids.
Rock's been on Pat McAfee shows a few times.
I also think the line also has to be, between being famous and being a celebrity. The sports guys you're naming are famous, but do you consider them celebrities? There's a big difference between just being famous and then being an actual celebrity.
And Michael Jordan are definitely fucking celebrities. Same with Jeter.
No one's wearing Brock Lesnar's around. If that makes sense. They're more into the culture and celebrity style. They have the shoe, okay. They have a lot of...
That's where you get my argument. You got it. There are no, Brock Lesnar endorsement. Okay, yes.
Whereas Brock you only see in the terms of fighting. If not, he's completely out of the spotlight if he's not wrestling or MMA fighting. Like... That's where I kind of see the difference. Whereas, like, Jordan's a whole cultural brand.
Like, my argument with DJ yesterday was, I see him more like Bo Jackson. He's a multi-sport athlete, but he's not an actual celebrity. He's not going to go to the red carpets. He's not going to, have a guest spot.
My argument was more towards Cena and Batista, though.
Right.
Those are definitely celebrities coming back for a wrestling match.
And then
the last ones.
And then we got into the whole argument of, what wrestlers are actual celebrities and who aren't. Like, then it got into, like, the Logan Paul. Like, he started off as that celebrity, but I feel he's no longer a celebrity. He's now a wrestler.
But he's also a contracted talent now.
Right. But I also then argued that Ronda Rousey was in the same boat, but she still never left that. I feel, even though she was full-time for a while, she still never really left that celebrity status.
Right. I would agree.
So, that's why it's like, we were talking about, like, there's that fine line to, like, then we got into, like, the Austins and the Goldbergs, and then, we said the Cenas and the Batistas, and at what point, is someone who was or is a wrestler transcends to become that celebrity status? DJ brought up Hogan. because he was in movies and he transcends the business. But I still, if he made an appearance, I still don't think it was a celebrity appearance. It was Hulk Hogan the wrestler. So it's like
that's where I think John's 100% on my side. Where I would say Hulk Hogan was definitely a known celebrity for even up to his death. Like again, TMZ don't cover every wrestler's death; they only cover celebrities. Am I wrong, John?
I agree that he is a celebrity. I wouldn't say bringing him back was celebrity. So I agree and disagree at the same time.
because when he comes back to WWE, he's not coming back because he's got a movie to push or he's promoting something.
Right.
He promoted his beer, but whatever. But he's coming back because he's Hulk
They
Hogan.
murdered that poor man on television.
He's Hulk Hogan, WWE legend. He's coming back because of his wrestling aspect. Ric Flair.
Right, and that's
Ric Flair has surpassed just wrestling into like pop culture, but when he appears, he's appearing because he's Ric Flair, the 18-time, 21-time, whatever world champion. So I think there's that line to like, at what point, and then we started talking about like guys like Punk and Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, and are they starting to cross that line to transcend and be similar to more celebrity? Because they are they're showing up in more movies and more outside projects.
My argument was Cody is trying. I also said Roman's pretty much almost there, and Punk is also currently trying.
I think the way I would try and word it for to define it is they would be a celebrity if they are no longer predominantly wrestling and their major monetary source is whatever this quote unquote causes them to be a celebrity. So if they're making movies consistently, not like, hey, I did these one or two small, kind of one-off type of things. Like if they've switched to where their income source is mainly from X, insert whatever it is, then I would consider that would be kind of required to consider them have crossed over into celebrity. Whereas, like, you wouldn't say the Miz. Well, that might be a bad example.
Yeah, see that I argue.
Someone who did an at-home DVD, like Kane, wasn't a celebrity because he did See No Evil or whatever the hell it was called.
And that falls with Randy too. Just because Randy did a movie, he's not in that celebrity status.
Right.
But Miz is like. He's not. I don't know.
That was a bad example because Miz built his celebrity into wrestling.
Right. To me, Miz is on that line also with the Bellas. While they're celebrities because they crossed over from wrestling, but they still crossed over because of the wrestling. So it's maybe the Bellas lean more toward that celebrity, but I think Miz is like really riding that line because he does all these outside things as well. He had a popular and reality show
on the outside.
He
he worked his way into wrestling after years of his MTV. He really built his MTV fame into an opportunity to wrestle.
Right, but would you really have considered him a celebrity who got into wrestling just because he was on Real World?
D-list, because he did it for like a decade. He did all the shows afterwards. He did all like the competition shows. So I remember growing up when he was constantly on whatever insert whatever MTV show there was. So he would have been like a very D-lit, not like a celebrity, but like he was TV fame. He catapulted existing TV fame and what would have been like online celebrity into, that's how he, catapulted in to get his opportunity on Tough Enough and then ultimately get the contract after not winning.
Hey, DJ, you go. I'm gonna grab some hands.
Yeah, go for some hands.
All right, Corey, you got your hand up. Let's start with you.
Hey, I may have a Mandela effect, but I know everybody's crashing up about the Pat McAfee thing. But 4 years ago at 22, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't he wrestle it?
He wrestled.
He wrestled two matches. Well, he wrestled Austin Theory.
Oh no, he did wrestle Austin Theory. That's what it was. Yeah.
And then he had an impromptu match with Miz a year or two after that, where he like just randomly beat up the Miz.
Yeah, and didn't Didn't Johnny Knoxville have a match at that Mania? I'm wanting to say against Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Plus
Like,
38.
this isn't like Pat McAfee being a part of Mania really isn't anything I would say new at this point, not unless I'm having a Mandela effect here.
That's why in the argument when they were talking about how many celebrities are at Mania this year, I kind of gave him a half point because he's so in the WWE bubble and has been part of the WWE for 8 years. I don't consider him, and that's where the whole argument is. At what point is it a celebrity coming in, or is it just someone who's part of the WWE? So like the Hogan comment,
Well, and at that point, we're saying, okay, Mercedes Moné is wrestling in AEW because she's a celebrity and not really a wrestler because she was in The Mandalorian, right?
I don't consider her a celebrity at all.
No, because the argument is what we're considering as a celebrity is someone who is their stardom has transcended being known as a wrestler. Like
Say
John
what the
Cena.
Okay,
John
let me
Cena
ask you
is
this,
a household name at this moment. Batista, household name. The Rock, household name. I would still say Goldberg and Steve Austin are still household names.
But if The Rock came back at this Mania, would they say, hey, oh, it's Dwayne Johnson, or would they call him The Rock?
He's still a celebrity. They'd call him a celebrity still.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. That's
right.
my argument, though.
But he's a celebrity wrestler, but technically he made his career in wrestling first, so technically you really consider him a wrestler. He's got a character, the final boss, and everything like that. So you really wouldn't consider, hey, it's this outside celebrity coming into wrestling, because based on, we know The Rock was involved with it for years, right?
Right, but to John's point, if his main income is through movies, he's a celebrity. It's not like Roman, who goes to do, he does a little small role in Hobbs and Shaw, but he's mostly a wrestler doing a movie.
Drew McIntyre next year, when he has the second highest role in Highlander, will be a celebrity wrestler.
No, because he's not. That's not going to be his main focus. He's doing a movie, but his main income is being WWE. So he's not a celebrity. He's a wrestler doing a movie. He's not a movie star doing a wrestling match. So that's where
if somebody transitions into Hollywood, they lose credence as a wrestler.
It's not transition. See, that's where you're missing the argument. I'm saying is if someone's notoriety and fame is beyond the sport they're in, for example, a Tom Brady or a LeBron James, those guys are celebrities. They are household names. Anybody on the street, synonymous to basketball or football, you ask them about any of those sports, first names you're going to hear are either Michael Jordan, LeBron James, or Tom Brady. So it's like, when you hear certain names in wrestling, like a la a Hogan, a la a Cena, a la a Batista, or a la The Rock, yes, they got their start in wrestling, but they transcended into actual stardom outside of wrestling, not caused by wrestling, to where I would give them celebrity status. Does that make sense?
I don't think, like, if The Rock comes back, it's viewed as the same way, for instance, as, say, if Little Yachty was having a match.
I disagree at this point. I'm saying at this point now, yes, he does.
Did people go, oh my God, Steve Austin's coming back, it's another celebrity at Mania?
No.
I don't think Steve Austin got to the same level of fame as The Rock, though, outside of wrestling.
Right, but now we're arguing levels of the fame at that point. Austin did a few movies at that point. He wasn't making his primary money off wrestling. He was doing podcasts. He was doing shows like on TNN, like Watch Me Race People and this. So we'd agree, like when he came back in '38, that his primary income probably at that point wasn't wrestling or his primary job, because he hadn't wrestled in like 20 years.
For going against Owens, right?
But do you think people had an outrage if Steve Austin come back? Oh, another celebrity's coming in to take a spot.
Wait, you're saying for when he faced Kevin Owens, right?
Yes.
That was one of the ones Brandon brought up to me, and I'd say you can make an argument for either. To where
I would argue people viewed him as a wrestler, or viewed Hogan as a wrestler, or viewed The Rock as a wrestler.
If you're talking about, hold on, just give me a second, just to at least make a point. If you're talking about the time, place, and the event itself, it's WrestleMania in Texas, and it's Stone Cold's last match, I would say that's celebrity style. Just for that specific environment there, and that specific event, and that specific place, yes, he was a celebrity.
I disagree with that.
Pushback off him wrestling, as you would say,
But because
like Courtyard at this point.
But I also made the argument earlier. It's not about having the celebrity there. My issue isn't having celebrities. It's about where you place them and how you use them. Again, you put in
He was in the
Stone
main
Cold
event. He was
You're
in the main
giving
event.
Stone Cold Steve Austin a main event retirement match that people wanted for his last match in his hometown at WrestleMania, and no one's gonna. That's the right place, right time, and right thing to fucking do.
So
Putting Pat
when
McAfee-
Rock had the night one main event, did anybody say, "Oh my God, it's another celebrity"?
No, but you also know The Rock's a movie star. Let's not pretend. You know, I disagree with DJ on the Austin thing. I say that he came back as a wrestler. You know,
I
but
think The Rock came back as a wrestler too, for that matter, because.
But it's
not
still
like you had. It's not like you had Jelly Roll come in at main event night one. People would have crapped all over that. It's The Rock coming back as the fucking boss and stuff like that. People looked at him as a wrestler. So I definitely think the perception is that people look at him as a wrestler who went on to become a movie star rather than a movie star that's coming into wrestling.
all right, let me get.
I see. That's where I disagree. I agree with the beginning part of what you said, but when he came back for that WrestleMania with Roman, he was a celebrity coming back to wrestle.
All right, let me get someone else because we got hands. Lombardi, what's up?
What's going on, gentlemen? How are you?
Good, good, good.
I catch him up on the topic.
He's been here. He's been listening.
Yeah, I mean, I think I got the gist of it. And I apologize if maybe my point's a bit of an adjacent to what we're talking about. I'm somebody who has always been a defender of celebrities involved in wrestling. I think that every promotion, including AEW, including, WWE, past, present, and will be in the future, has involved themselves in celebrity involvement. The first WrestleMania had celebrities at them. The first three had celebrity. I think the first three or the first four had celebrity matches in each of them or something. So I don't think the issue here is the idea of celebrities having some kind of involvement. I think the issue is how they are used, and when it feels like an overly forced attempt to try and sell tickets and or try to, bring in general interest. I think that Pat McAfee overall has been a net positive for WWE in his role as a commentator, in the little bit of in-ring action he's done. People like to forget what he did in NXT. People like to forget, that, he made the chicken salad out of the chicken shit stuff he had to do at 38 with Theory and Vince and all that crap. That ended up kind of being a fun segment and stuff. The issue with this Mania, and why I, who is a consummate defender of celebrities involved in wrestling, again, this isn't just a WWE thing, because AEW had Action Bronson, AEW had Mike Tyson on one of the early Dynamites and stuff, so this is not just a WWE slander here. But my thing is, two reasons. Why as a defender, this year I'm particularly angry about it, is two things. One, Cody and Randy did not need a celebrity endorsement here. Cody and Randy has a 2-decade-long story that they can do with each other. There are so many things and so many angles they could have gone with this story to make it interesting where they didn't need a celebrity. And then two, when I look at the list of people who are not going to get a WrestleMania match, and the reason why is because we have to make time for others, I kind of throw my hands up in the air. How does Carmelo Hayes not have a match at WrestleMania? How does Ilya Dragunov not have a match at WrestleMania? How, if it wasn't for them not being sure about Braun Breaker, did they not have a plan for Gunther? And then I know it got a little freaked up with Ray. I understand that, so I'm not going to maybe hold them accountable for that. But I think that's where a lot of the uproar has been. I think that overall, people have gotten used to celebrities in wrestling. I think that we accept it as a part of WWE becoming mainstream, is that they're going to look to entice more people than the average wrestling fan. And I think we got to just be okay with that. But I think this year, Jelly Roll and Pat McAfee being involved in a storyline revolving around the WWE Championship, Randy Orton going for his 15th world title in potentially his last WrestleMania, or at least one of his last WrestleManias, going up against a former protege who's the self-proclaimed quarterback who's going, through some self, kind of discovery of, who am I? Am I a good guy? Am I a bad guy? I mean, what the fuck was the point of Stephanie's conversation with him on Raw. What was the point of Randy becoming the quote-unquote Viper again? It means nothing now, because it's now all about these celebrities. So, I don't know if that necessarily relates perfectly to what we were just talking about in the terms of celebrities, but that's just kind of my mindset with it.
No, after that, Nick, all I have to say is I win.
You win. Nick,
you're saying exactly what the fuck I'm saying.
I disagree with something you did say. I would agree with the whole Carmelo and Ilya if the celebrity was taking the spot from them. But we're not having any celebrities actually take the spot from a wrestler. Like, it's not like, Carmelo was scheduled to be in a match. Early creative was he was going to be in a match against Kit Wilson. I'm just throwing a name out there. And then, they decided to pull him for Jelly Roll against Kit Wilson. You know what I mean?
No, I do. You're making a point there. No, you're
because,
absolutely right.
those guys just were not scheduled for the event. Not everyone's going to make it to Mania.
But that's crazy.
That's
kind of crazy.
But that has nothing to do with the celebrity aspect of it.
You're right.
Jelly Roll and McAfee being involved in the main event creative, while stupid for 99% of it, is not taking anyone's spot off the WrestleMania card, which I think is where a lot of people also argue the whole, celebrities in WWE part, because there'll be limited spots that are being taken by celebrities to have a match. Like the I Show Speed thing. I only think he's in that match because Bronson Reed is injured.
Yes.
I feel that's why they are using I Show Speed in that spot. I think otherwise Bronson Reed would have been in that spot, and I Show Speed would either have just had a spot sometime in the card, not a match, but just an appearance, as opposed to being involved in the match. So I don't feel like I Show Speed is taking someone's spot that they're getting kicked off of Mania.
No, you could argue that I Show Speed being on, and notice that in all my diatribe I just did there, I did not mention I Show Speed, because I think I Show has done a great job for what they've asked him to do. I'd also argue that if it wasn't for him being involved in the match, LA Knight doesn't have a match at WrestleMania. So you can make the argument that it actually is helping somebody get in there, which I think, again, a lot of times, that is a part of the give and take with having a celebrity involved. People can make fun of, Sami Zayn had to work Johnny Knoxville in a match at 38. But was Sami Zayn going to have a match at WrestleMania if he didn't have to wrestle Johnny Knoxville? No. I don't think that necessarily is such a bad thing. So it does work both ways. And you're right. I just think more of, we already kind of felt that this Mania, going into this Mania, they were a little creatively bankrupt. Then there was the whole element of like them trying to sell tickets. Then it just feels so inorganic and so forced, and then it's all just kind of in the minutia, in the conversation of like, my goodness gracious, they're charging us stupid money. They're inserting celebrities when they don't need to. These guys who are kind of anchors for the shows are not in there. Why? That doesn't make any sense. What the heck's going on? I think it's just a forever flowing conversation, and it's not good for WWE regardless.
Jet.
I think that's a good point too. I think the way that I think it feels like an emergency break glass. Like they had no other levers that they could think of, so they just pulled the celebrity lever down on this one. Where in the beginning, without celebrities, there is no WrestleMania 2. The whole appeal and the spinoff from WrestleMania was the blending of the rock and roll and the celebrity and all of that. So I definitely agree.
Okay, against my better judgment, Jet, you have your hand up.
Mic check 1, 2. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So my question is, in what world, in any world, people that watch Wrestling Weekly, does Trick Williams need a fucking manager? Trick Williams does not need a manager. He doesn't need Lil Yachty. He doesn't need all that to be over. Trick Williams can clearly talk on his own. He's a better promo than 98% of the roster. He doesn't need a manager. He doesn't need somebody there to hype him up. If you're going to have somebody hype him up, have it be Booker T. Because we all know the Booker T ad libs on his entrance, and we've been missing that. So if you want somebody to hype him up, have it be Booker T. Have the ad libs in WrestleMania.
All right, my argument
Booker
on that
T doesn't bring new eyes.
Exactly. My argument on that.
Again, in what world does he need a manager?
Okay,
Lil Yachty has no business being here. And again, and people that listen to rap music, people that know this, Lil Yachty hasn't been relevant in about 10 years. He was relevant 10 years ago. Lil Yachty is not relevant now. He hasn't been relevant so
listen, you besmirch Lil Bo, okay?
Listen.
Lil Bo is relevant.
DJ, am I lying?
Jet.
You're
Okay.
half lying. He hasn't been relevant in 5 years.
All right, Jet. To answer your point,
hasn't been relevant.
but listen, let me answer the question. WrestleMania is about getting more eyes on the WWE product than any time the rest of the year, especially right now with the whole ESPN deal. So the bringing in a Little Yachty who has a fan base that may not be having that fan base watching wrestling. We'll see Little Yachty on WWE programming, and now maybe they will tune in to watch WrestleMania.
Okay, to answer that, okay, you can have him part of the show.
So yes, I agree that Trick Williams does not need a mouthpiece.
That's what I'm saying. If you want, if like somebody, I forgot who said, if you want to have him come out here and announce the entrance or like do like a guest like referee spot or something, that's fine, okay. But Trick Williams doesn't need a hype man. Again, if you're gonna do somebody to be a hype man, have it be Booker T. But again, if you want to have the announce the entrance, if you want to have Lil Yachty co-host WrestleMania with John Cena, that's fine.
Right,
Whatever.
but let me ask you something. If you're a Little Yachty fan who is not a wrestling fan, and you hear that he's going to be involved in a wrestling match as opposed to just coming out and announcing a attendance record or whatever, what do you think would be more interested as a Little Yachty fan who's not a wrestling fan to see Little Yachty do? Read a number out or get involved?
You don't have to announce that. Just say Lil Yachty's gonna be at WrestleMania. You ain't gotta say what he's doing. You can say he's gonna be a part of WrestleMania. You don't have to announce what like he's doing. You can just say, "Hey, Lil Yachty's gonna be at WrestleMania."
But I don't think that I just don't.
Hold on, Brendan. Let's give John a chance to rebut because John's biting that nip to rebut to this. Go ahead, John.
So my counter there is if you just make it clear that it's a one-off, you get less buy-in from people that are their fans of like, oh, he's showing up at this thing. They might not have interest. Oh, he's been on TV for a few weeks. What's he going to do at Mania? And I get your point that he doesn't need Yachty as a mouthpiece. But does having Yachty there harm him in any way? No. And you still get the eyes on it. It doesn't need to attract more eyes to Trick. It needs to attract more eyes to the product. So I think one of the issues we have is the celebrities feel forced. This is a very natural way, just like Cyndi Lauper coming in, or, you know, having Mr. T there didn't harm Hulk Hogan any. It didn't take anything away from Hulk Hogan that he was partnering with Mr. T. That was still a huge positive for them. So I don't think it harms Trick in any way, but it does help get the eyes out there. And like I said, it's a natural one. It's people that are friends.
If you're gonna have Lil Yachty a part of WrestleMania, have him, like I said, be a part of commentary. And for the next couple of weeks, people say we're gonna have Lil Yachty be with Joe Tessitore to practice commentary. Would that work?
No, I don't think his fans are going to pay $30 for the ESPN app just to hear him talk about wrestling. But if they're freaking huge...
That's the thing. And again, make my other point. I got other points to make. Jelly Roll and Pat McAfee being the main vocal point of Randy and Cody, that's not... That doesn't work for me, brother, to go Hulk Hogan.
I think we're all, as wrestling fans, in agreement to that, though. Like, I think that...
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page.
Like, I think we're all in agreement that Randy and Cody have more than enough history.
Oh, your robot.
Jet, you're roboting again. I'm gonna give you a second to fix your stuff. But no, I to play back on that point, in terms of the Cody Randy thing, we're all in agreement that Pat McAfee, Jelly Roll, Stephanie McMahon, everyone in this feud that's been involved in that feud has not needed to be involved in it.
The one I disagree with is Stephanie McMahon, because if she,
I don't think Stephanie should have been the one out there warning him. It should have been Triple H. It would have been more effective.
I think because you already had Triple H on the show, and you don't want to have too much Triple H on the show because he was there to break up.
No, I think I already stated this when we talked about it, though. I thought the only thing Triple H should be there to sell is the main event feud, not some Brock and Ova was already being sold and didn't need any Triple H intervention whatsoever. That shit is already hot enough. Triple H just interjected himself in it because, ego. But if you wanted to do something you actually need, don't send Stephanie out there. Send the guy who actually was harmed by Randy. who was literally locked in handcuffs and had to watch his wife get fucking kicked in her head and kissed by Randy.
But Stephanie being there wasn't about that as much as it was about her last name and the whole conversation of more than one royal family in professional wrestling.
No, but and then also all that segment was accomplished was make Cody look more like a bitch.
We also had at the top.
It didn't help. It did not help get the story over. It did not help show how intimidating the Viper is. It just showed us how big of a bitch Cody Rhodes is.
All right, Mike, check 1, 2, 1, 2. Can I finish my point? So I got rudely interrupted. Can I finish my point?
Go ahead, real quick.
All right, so like I said, Lil Yachty doesn't need to be first manager again. You can have him be on commentary, and for the next few weeks, you can have him be on like Instagram Live or Twitter and say, hey, for the next couple weeks on SmackDown, for 1 or 2 matches, I'm going to be next to Joe Tessa for practice commentary for WrestleMania. And yes, his fans will tune in and have him here because he's still on the show some type of way. Or you can have him, again, be a special guest referee or something. I know that's wrong. Oh my God, it's so wrong. But still, for the show.
And now in the sense of doing the best thing for Yachty, if you're trying to help Trick in some way, shape, or form, announce him doing the entrance with Trick. Just say, I'm calling in a friend to help do me a favor with my entrance. I'm going out there with a bang, blah, blah, blah. Sound like a heel. Like, condescending heel would do. And then you get Little Yachty to come out there. Little Yachty don't got to be a babyface or a heel. He's just a musician going out there doing performance.
And to me, I don't consider Logan Paul's been in WWE so long, and he's won championships. He's won after the World Tag Team Champions. He's not a celebrity.
That's another one.
Champion. World Tag Team Champion. He's not a celebrity. And also his main...
hold on. Because this is another one me and Brendan had an argument with over, and he's a very touchy situation. Logan Paul started as a celebrity and transitioned into a wrestler, but I still think he's somewhat in that celebrity bag.
Not now, because it's like, it's to your point. If his main income is wrestling, then that's what it is. His main income is main fortune. His weekly DJ. Hold on. I know you're banging on the desk. His main source right now, whether you want to admit it or not, is wrestling. He's a former champion.
No, it's not.
Anyway,
his main source of income.
Okay, whatever. If it's not, if it is, if he fucks a pig, he fucks like a pig. He fucks a pig. Whatever.
Bro, he's
his main thing, right? What? Okay, DJ. Okay.
Yo.
Whatever. His main thing can be porn. I don't care.
Yo.
Hold on. No.
Wait, DJ, breaking news. Yo, I got breaking news.
What's breaking news?
Camille is back in AEW. She just attacked Willow on social media. Renee was interviewing Willow, and Camille attacked Willow.
Okay, I'm with that.
Again.
And now
Camille, wow.
She's competing on 0 Hour.
Wait. Camille is going to be on the pre-show?
That's what I'm being told right now because it started a minute ago.
They are the best at nonsense pre-show returns. Isn't that how Jamie Hayter returned in the pre-show on fucking the UK?
Yeah.
All in their big Wembley show.
Because they think doing a return on the pre-show is going to make people want to buy the pay-per-view for some reason. Anyway, go back on, DJ. I'm sorry, I just had
No, but I was just bringing up how when you brought up Logan Paul, the thing with Logan Paul is his wrestling deal is not the normal wrestling deal. You know what I mean? Most wrestlers in his position wouldn't be able to run their own outside companies, have their own podcasts, do other things outside of wrestling.
Yeah, because Cody doesn't have his own podcast, Cody doesn't have his own podcast.
No, but the difference is Cody is doing it through WWE. Logan was doing it.
Ran through Logan Paul.
Logan was doing it by himself, and now it's
his own podcast. Again, and Logan Paul also is running his own multi-billion-dollar business with Prime, and he does have plenty other outside business ventures that WWE contracted talent normally aren't allowed to have.
I think he's on that.
But still, my whole point is what I was saying before I got interrupted by DJ and everybody else. Once he won a championship,
my show.
I know it's your show, but you have no control over it. You can kick me out. Only Brendan can. But back to what I was saying.
Don't tease me.
Okay, I'm not gonna tease you, sir. My fault. But back to what I was saying. My main point of that thing is, or comment was, once Logan Paul beat Rey Mysterio, or whether Rey Mysterio for the United States Championship, his whole celebrity appeal of like, oh, this is celebrity, that was done. Because once he won a championship, and that's why you'll say, well, David Arquette won a championship. Oh my God, I'm on my knees. Anyways, but once he won a championship, it was actually like there every single week having big fights and all that. That's when I was like, okay, the whole celebrity thing is done. And once he said he signed a full-time contract, that was done for me. But ISO Speed, I have no problem with it, because again, it's like Nick said, that's getting LA Knight on the mat, LA Knight on the card, which he wouldn't have been on if ISO Speed wasn't there. So
I think
that's my take.
I think Logan falls under that category with Ronda Rousey, where even though they're wrestlers, they're still that celebrity, but they're not celebrity wrestlers. It's a really fine line. So,
Well, real quick, I saw Lombardi's hand up. Nick, you had something to add?
No, it was more of your line about Stephanie devaluing Cody in that promo on Raw, because I very much disagree with you on that. But as far as the whole conversation of celebrity wrestlers versus a celebrity who wrestles versus a wrestler who also happens to be a celebrity, I think we're kind of, we've reached our definition on what those things are. I think there's a difference between David Arquette winning the WCW championship and Logan Paul winning the US championship. I think there's a difference between someone doing a few one-off matches and someone who actually makes a point to learn the business. I mean, Logan Paul is a wrestler as far as I'm concerned. And it's funny because whenever I talk to people who aren't wrestling fans and I mention like Logan Paul was on the show and they scoff and they're like, is he actually good at this? I'm like, dude, it's annoying because he's so good at this. Because he gets it. He knows how to be a heel. He knows how to work. He has earned a lot of respect, I think, from people backstage, especially for his in-ring dedication that he's put into it. Now, he got to do things that other people didn't get to do. He gets to buy a WWE ring, bring it to his big house in Puerto Rico, get a bunch of wrestlers who are, not just like indie wrestlers or people who are past their prime or join a wrestling school. He's getting active WWE superstars to then come to his house and dedicate months to teaching him how to wrestle. So that's a big point of privilege that other people don't get to have. But not the point.
like I said, I just feel that with Logan, it falls under that like Ronda Rousey, and it's really riding that line, while like our definition we established as in like what their main income is. I think Logan is different in that sense because he is doing this full time, but it's not like he needs wrestling to earn money.
His money he made for his social media stuff, if he never made another post again, the residual, the passive income he makes.
He's from selling his Pokemon card. His kid is set. So
exactly.
But I'm just saying, I think Logan is just he's separate from the conversation because it's just different with him because even though he is now full time, he's not a celebrity who wrestles. He's a WWE star, but he's also still a celebrity. So it's like really crossing that line that we established during this conversation. Would you agree with that, DJ?
Yeah, no, definitely.
So, do you want to really quick do the TNA stuff, or do you want to leave that?
I'll just leave that for later.
Yeah,
do that on like Zeus's show or something.
Yeah, because 0 Hour started. I don't want to keep people who want to watch the show. I want to watch the show. I'm about to travel. Travel.
Let me be quick in thanking John for stopping by and coming in on our shenanigans.
And you're invited anytime, John.
Yes, it was nice to hop in and have something entertaining to discuss. It was nice to clear an afternoon. Nice to chat some bullshit.
Just so you know, we will be doing 2 shows. We're actually going to be doing 3 shows next week, but we're going to be doing immediate reactions both nights of WrestleMania. So, if you're available, 10 o'clock at night, we're going to, whatever it ends, we're going to jump on and we're going to be talking about it. So you're more than happy to join us.
Oh, yeah, Saturday I'm going out somewhere for it, but Sunday I'm going to be home, so Sunday I'll probably hop on after night too.
That's good because I think that'll be the bigger conversation because we'll have a lot to compare to as opposed to just the one night.
All right, I'm
I'm all good here, Brandon.
Yep. Yeah, I appreciate everyone popping in. Yeah, I'm just seeing this attack on from Camille right now on Willow. So I guess American Gladiators is coming out this week, so I guess it's okay to bring her back. But still no Britt Baker. So, but yeah, so we'll be back. We're actually programming note. We're actually be on this coming Friday, approximately 5:30, following me beating the shit out of Jet in Trivia Mania 2, hosted by DJ. And then we'll be doing a WrestleMania pre-show on Friday, and then like I just said, we'll be Saturday and Sunday right after WrestleMania. We'll be live and streaming. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for today, and we're going to go right into watching Dynasty. I'm traveling right now as we speak to the UK for my VPN to watch it on myaew.com.
Oh, you cheater.
$20 for 2 pay-per-views. I'm not arguing with it.
All right, though. I'll catch y'all on the flip side.
Thank you. Bye.